So when you come to a drum store, you want to be able to pick out stuff that's going to add to your setup. A lot of drummers pick out cymbals that all sound the same. So if you're into A customs and you have some cymbals like Greg has, he has a 16 and 18-inch crash, 14-inch master sound hi-hats, 20-inch medium ride. Those are all kind of bright colors. So you might want to look for some other colors like in the Ks or even larger crashes. Maybe an EFX that's going to change up the sound palette. So you can color the music so everything doesn't sound the same. It's best to take the cymbals if they're on a wall off the wall,
okay,
and then we'll put them on some stands. That way you're going to get the full vibration of the metal. And maybe we can pull out a couple of your crash cymbals and we'll see if one of these sits in with it.
Sounds great.
All right, you want to grab your cymbals?
Absolutely.
Awesome. I see that you have a nice 16-inch A custom crash, and you have a nice 18-inch A custom projection crash. That's great because the 16 is going to be super bright because of the diameter.
That's right.
And then you have a little bit more meaty 18-inch crash in the projection crash, which is really a medium thin cymbal, you know. And we threw up the 18-inch K-Dark crash thin and a 19-inch K-Dark crash thin, and I'm gonna play them, and we're going to compare the sounds. We also always recommend that you're going to use a stick that has some weight behind it. So a 5A or a 5B is recommended when you're testing cymbals. If you use a different stick to gig with, that's totally fine. But you want to get the piece of metal to vibrate to its maximum potential so you can hear what it's going to do and what it's not going to do for you. So I'm going to play Greg's crashes, and I'm going to compare them to the others, and then we'll see which one speaks to you, because ultimately the way that I hear cymbals and the way Greg hears cymbals is going to be totally different. So it's really up to Greg to say, that one really speaks to me, because then he's going to be able to color the music with some different sounds and really convey the emotions that he's looking to do throughout the music that he's playing. Okay?
All right.
All right, so here's the 16. So now we have an 18-inch K-Dark crash thin, and because of the diameter and the weight of this and the design of this type of cymbal, it should be much darker than what you're already playing. And one of the things that we recommend is that you want to ride the cymbal even though it's marked crash, because you're going to hear the pitch of the cymbal that way before you crash it. Once you strike the cymbal, you're activating all the overtones and undertones. So if you want to hear the difference in pitch, you want to tap the cymbals first. Okay? So you can hear that this one's darker just by doing that, okay? And then we have a 19, which should go even lower in pitch. So one of the things that we really recommend when you're at a store and you're looking to pick out cymbals, if you can bring a drummer friend that you trust is playing and his opinion, after you pick out some stuff that you really like, you can stand across the room and have your drummer friend play the cymbals so you can hear them as if you're standing out in the audience at a club or a venue where you're playing. So I'm going to ask Greg just to step about 10 feet away, and I'm going to play the cymbals again, and then he's going to come up, he'll play, and then he'll pick the cymbal that he likes. Okay, so here's the two cymbals that Greg has in his setup, the 16 and 18-inch A custom. And you noticed earlier I did multiple hits when I was crashing. What you don't want is you don't want to have a cymbal that if you need to crash it multiple times during a gig that it phases out on you. You want clean hits every time that you're hitting the cymbal. You want each crash to be as full as the last one that you hit. So that's very, very important to do that technique as well. So we'll ask Greg to come back and pick out which one he really likes and which one speaks to him.
That's the one right there. I really like the way that it contrasts with these two and just has that lower pitch, has some meat to it.
Yep.
Very rideable. I like how clear the bell is. I think it's going to blend well with these two.
That's fantastic. You want to take the cymbals into practice room, if they'll allow you, at the store, and you want to put everything on and you want to play. You know, and it's not necessarily always a representation of a gig, but at least you're going to get the feedback from the instrument while you're playing the drums with it. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay.